Have you ever frozen in the middle of a simple, "Hi, how are you?" and had no idea what to say next? Hello, my friend. Welcome back to English GlowMind. I'm really happy you're here today. Before we begin, take one slow breath with me and let your shoulders relax. This is your time to enjoy English, not to worry about it. Today is day 23 of our journey, and we're going to talk about something that many English learners find surprisingly difficult: small talk. Maybe you've studied English for years. Maybe you know hundreds of words. Maybe you understand movies or podcasts much better than before, but then someone smiles and says, "Hi, how are you?" And suddenly, your mind goes blank. You answer, "I'm fine." Then, silence. You don't know what to say next. If this has happened to you, you're not alone. Many learners think small talk is unimportant because it isn't a deep conversation. But actually, small talk is where most conversations begin. It's the little bridge between strangers. It's how classmates become friends. It's how coworkers feel comfortable with each other. It's how confidence starts. Today, I want to show you that small talk doesn't have to be clever or exciting. It only needs to be warm, friendly, and genuine. Let's imagine you're waiting in line at a coffee shop. The person next to you smiles. You smile back. What could you say? Maybe something as simple as, "Busy today, isn't it?" Or, "This place makes great coffee." That's all. No difficult vocabulary, no perfect grammar, just a simple observation that invites the other person to respond. Small talk often begins with something both people can see or experience: the weather, the place you're in, the food you're eating, the event you're attending. These topics are easy because everyone shares them. Now imagine you're at work. A coworker walks into the office. Instead of saying nothing, you could ask, "How's your morning going?" Maybe they answer, "It's been busy." Now you can say, "I hope the afternoon is a little quieter." See how natural that feels? You don't need a long conversation, just a few friendly sentences. Let's try one more. You're meeting someone for the first time. After saying hello, you might ask, "Where are you from?" Or, "What do you like to do on weekends?" When they answer, don't worry about asking the perfect question. Simply listen, then respond to something they said. If they say, "I enjoy hiking," you might answer, "Oh, that sounds fun. Do you have a favorite place to hike?" Notice something important. You're not changing the topic. You're staying with it. That's what makes conversations feel comfortable. Many learners think they must always think of something new to say. Actually, the easiest conversations grow from one simple idea. Think of a tree. The trunk is the first question. The branches are the follow-up questions. You don't need to plant a new tree every minute. You just need to explore the branches. Here's another example. Someone says, "I watched a movie yesterday." Instead of saying, "Okay," you could ask, "What movie did you watch? Did you enjoy it? Who's your favorite character?" Each question helps the conversation grow naturally, like a new branch reaching out from the trunk. Let's look at a few more everyday moments where small talk quietly appears, because once you start noticing them, you'll see they're everywhere. In an elevator, someone might say, "Which floor?" And then, "Long day?" You could answer, "You could say that," and smile. That's a complete, natural exchange. At the gym, someone finishing their workout might say, "This machine is always busy." You could reply, "I know, I've been waiting for it too." At a bus stop, in a waiting room, in line at the supermarket. These small, shared moments are full of tiny openings for connection, if you're willing to take them. Here's something worth remembering. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment to practice. You can practice small talk, even when you're alone. Try this. The next time you're walking outside or making your morning coffee, imagine a person standing next to you. Say a simple opening line out loud. "Nice weather today." Then imagine their answer and add a follow-up question. It might feel a little strange at first, talking to no one, but this kind of quiet practice builds real confidence. Your mouth and your mind learn the rhythm of conversation, so that when a real moment comes, the words are already familiar to you. Another common mistake is worrying too much about saying something interesting. But people usually enjoy talking with someone who is interested, not someone who is interesting. There's a big difference. You don't have to impress people. You only have to be curious. Curiosity is one of the best conversation skills you can develop. When you genuinely want to know more about another person, your questions become natural. Your smile becomes real. Your confidence grows without you forcing it. Sometimes, small talk is simply about sharing a little piece of your own day. Imagine someone asks, "How are you?" Instead of only saying, "I'm fine," you might say, "I'm doing well." "I went for a walk this morning." Or, "I'm a little tired today, but I'm happy to be here." Now the other person has something to respond to. Conversations become easier when we give people a little more than one-word answers. Of course, that doesn't mean talking for 5 minutes without stopping. Think of conversation like playing catch with a ball. You throw, they catch, they throw, you catch. Everyone gets a turn. If only one person keeps throwing without listening, it isn't much fun. Good conversations have balance. Speaking, listening, smiling, responding, asking, sharing. These simple actions create connection. Small talk doesn't always have to be exciting. Sometimes it's wonderfully ordinary. "What are you doing this weekend?" "I think I'll stay home and read." "Oh, what kind of books do you like?" That's enough. Real conversations are usually much simpler than we imagine. Movies sometimes make conversations sound perfect. Real life doesn't. People pause, they laugh, they think. Sometimes they don't know exactly what to say, and that's completely normal. Even native English speakers have awkward moments, so don't expect yourself to sound perfect every time. And here's a small secret. A short silence isn't failure. If you don't know what to say right away, it's okay to pause, smile, and think for a second before answering. You don't have to fill every quiet moment with words. Native speakers do this too. They say, or "let me think," all the time. What matters isn't speed. What matters is that you stay in the conversation instead of walking away from it in your mind. So instead of aiming to be perfect, aim to be present. Listen carefully. Answer honestly. Stay curious. Little by little, you'll notice something wonderful. Small talk becomes less scary. One conversation becomes another, then another. Before you know it, you're speaking more English than you ever thought possible. Not because your English is perfect, but because you're willing to connect with another person. That's the real goal. English isn't only about vocabulary or grammar, it's about people. It's about sharing ideas, stories, laughter, and everyday moments. Small talk may seem small, but it often opens the door to meaningful friendships and unforgettable conversations. Before we finish today, I'd like you to think about one simple question. When you meet someone tomorrow, what could you ask? Maybe, "How's your day going?" Maybe, "What have you been doing today?" Or perhaps, "Have you tried this cafe before?" Choose just one. Practice it. You don't need 10 questions. You only need one. Remember, confidence doesn't suddenly appear one morning. It grows from small actions repeated again and again, every greeting, every smile, every short conversation, every time you choose to speak instead of staying silent. These moments are helping you become a more confident English speaker. Think about the very first day you started this challenge. Maybe speaking even one full sentence in English felt hard. And look at you now, learning to open a conversation, keep it going, and stay curious about another person's world. That's not a small thing. That's real growth, built one quiet lesson at a time. You've already come so far in this challenge. You've learned to think differently about English. You've practiced listening, speaking, slowing down, building confidence, and becoming more comfortable with mistakes. Today's lesson adds another important habit: starting simple conversations without fear. And tomorrow, we'll take the next step together. Once you've started talking, how do you keep the conversation going naturally? That's exactly what we'll explore in day 24, how to keep a conversation going. I think you're going to enjoy it. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If today's lesson helped you feel a little more confident, please give this video a like. Leave a comment and tell me, what's your favorite question to ask when you meet someone new? I'd love to hear your ideas. And if you're enjoying this journey, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss tomorrow's lesson. Until then, take care of yourself, keep practicing a little every day, and remember, Every small conversation is another step toward thinking in English naturally. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.